Johnson & Johnson family of companies. 125 years caring for the caregivers.
Richard and I met because I hired him as a big band leader. I had an interesting special event I was doing at the Puck Building 19 and a half years ago. Do you remember anything at the beginning that was particularly interesting?
You do.
My what?
You were T-O-U-V-H.
T-O-U-V-H. I was tough. Before the gig began, he was playing sad songs on the piano, and I went over to him and said, look, you know, we got a gig to do here in about a half an hour, so would you please go put your tuxedo on and smile and like cheer up until the whole thing's over, then you can go and be blue again. And for months after that, when we met, friends and colleagues of his, he used to say, you should have heard the way she talked to me. Did she know who I was? When he came back into town on August 5th, he came over, I opened the door, and he stayed for 5 days. And it was a whirlwind meeting, a whirlwind love, and the love has never died. Richard Sudhalter was one of the most renowned jazz trumpet players, cornet player, flugelhorn player. He was, unfortunately, and is not any longer, a brilliant musician, a brilliant author, a brilliant lecturer, a raconteur beyond belief. His whole life was communication. His whole life was teaching and spreading knowledge. The disease which he now has is called Multiple Systems Atrophy. It is a rare type of Parkinson's disease which attacks the brain cells and has it no longer allows him to walk, to speak, to use his typewriter, to even read, because now cataracts are beginning to form in his eyes. And so the thing that kept him happy, vibrant, and interesting in life, books, knowledge, lectures, his pen, have all become useless to him. The extremes are so dreadful sometimes, but people who are caregivers have to go farther. They have to learn the symptoms and signs of their diseases. They have to become advocates. They have to become teachers. They have to become lecturers to everybody. Somebody asked me his story, and I rattle it off as if it were a sales pitch. We put pictures up in his room of Bix Beiderbecke, of Doc Cheatham, of all these people, so that when they come in, they get a sense that he had history, that he had prestige, that he had what's wrong. Nothing. Sit up, sweet pie, if you can. I know it's hard for you. It's very hard for him to maintain balance now. We'll just go with it, okay? Hold my hand and you'll feel stronger, okay?
All right.
Okay. But preserving somebody's dignity, but more than that, preserving their mind. Don't let them go to bingo just because they're in a nursing home. We live next door to the Rockefeller University, where they have classical concerts on Friday for all their staff. I would struggle up that damn hill every Friday, even in the snow, push him up there so he could get there by 12 o'clock and listen to these spectacular things. And he would sit there and you could see the relaxation on his face and the joy from hearing these wonderful things. Well, I will say to him, I love you, and he'll look at me and say, why? But when Richard and I were together and young and sexy and having great times, and when I would get unemployed, he would call me every day and he would say, I just called to make sure you're okay. I'm thinking about you. Did you get that interview? I said, yeah, I got the interview, but not the job. Well, that was their mistake. You're the greatest, and there's no reason. They don't know what they're missing out. He always supported me in that way. He always made sure that we went to my friends in Scotland or that we went away somewhere, and he would do all of the trip planning. He would do all I had to do was put some stuff in a bag and go. And it's my turn. The first thing a caregiver has to improve on is their sense of humor. And by doing that, it carries through to the patient or the person you're taking care of. And as a result, we've been able to have really good laughs with Richard. We still have a good life, Richard, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you still get to kiss me a lot.
Yes.
And every once in a while, I jump into your little silly bed with the things.
Yeah.
And the nurses come in and go, ooh!
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're doing fine. And guess what? You had the best damn life that I can ever think of. Instead of having to sit in a corporate office until 8 o'clock at night, what were you out doing? Blowing the horn. And that was all he lived for. Early in our relationship, and they all have to know this, he told me that his trumpet was more important than I was.
Yes, sir.
Did I say that? Yes, you did say that. And do you still feel the same way?
No.
Good.
This program was brought to you by Johnson & Johnson in association with Good News Broadcast.